1,000. The Congress has 514 retweets. Average likes is 1,500. Let's now come to BJP versus Congress on Facebook. There again, the BJP ahead of the Congress by quite a fair distance. 16 million followers for the BJP on Facebook, 6.4 million for the Congress, 194 average shares for the BJP, 167 for the Congress. So the Congress's game on Twitter stronger than the game on Facebook. But the BJP, once again, more than double the strength when it comes to follower count on Facebook. Let's now compare the two primary leaders of these two parties, Prime Minister Modi and Member of Parliament Rahul Gandhi. The Prime Minister has 87.1 million followers on Twitter. Rahul Gandhi now has 22.9. Rahul Gandhi, though, gets more average likes per tweet. That's 34,300 odd likes, 9.2 average retweets. The Prime Minister gets about 4,000 average retweets. Let's now compare Mr. Modi and Rahul Gandhi on Facebook. 48 million followers for the Prime Minister on Facebook. Rahul Gandhi very marginal in comparison on Facebook with just 6.4 million. 9.7 thousand likes for the Prime Minister on Facebook versus 2.1 for Mr. Gandhi. That now brings me to our two speakers who are in the battlefield at the Conclave. Amit Malviya and Supriya Shrinate. Amit Malviya at about 700,000 followers on Twitter. Following close behind is Supriya Shrinate at 577.2. Mr. Malviya has 1.7 thousand average likes, 512 average retweets. Supriya Shrinate just marginally ahead when it comes to average retweets, 869. Average likes is 3.7. With that, ladies and gentlemen, at the India Today Conclave, can we have a warm round of applause as I welcome and introduce Amit Malviya. He heads the social media, the giant social media army of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and trying to take him on is Supriya Shrinate. She's been a journalist, now heads the social media division of the Congress Party. Welcome, Mr. Malviya and Supriya Shrinate, and thank you so much for agreeing to join us here. I want to start by asking Amit Malviya about your sense of the competitive landscape on social media building up to the 2024 elections. In the last two elections, the BJP was heads and shoulders ahead of everyone else in the opposition. Do you think that the Congress Party has been able to close the gap? In some metrics, they're actually ahead, even if the total follower count is much lesser than the BJP. Will the next election see a more level playing field on social media? Are you confident that you'll win on the ground and on social media in the same thumping fashion that you did last time? Mr. Malviya.
Thank you, Rahul. I think you've answered your question by putting out the statistics that you've just mentioned here. Well, beyond these numbers, the social media game is far more deeper and far more pervasive. And I think the BJP is far, far ahead of the Congress. The Congress can probably never even imagine to get to where we are. And it has much to do with Prime Minister Modi's leadership and the organizational footprint of the BJP. Let me explain both of those aspects, and I'll take a couple of minutes to set the agenda for this conversation. Any political party is characterized by its leadership, his vision, the ideology of the party, and the organization strength. Today, clearly, when it comes to Mr. Modi, he stands heads and shoulders above any other political leader in the country. He is not just someone who is the tallest leader in India, but has a global standing. He's somebody the world now looks up to, and that makes a huge impact. Much as we would like to believe that some of these narratives are very Delhi-centric or urban-centric, the truth of the matter is that with the advent of social media, there has been democratization of discourse, and everything that is said in Delhi reaches the farthest corner of this country. And it is not media that takes the message across, it is the social media that takes the message across. For me, as in charge of the BJP's Information and Technology Department, I'm not as much concerned about the conversations that go on in Delhi as I am about conversation in Bharuch, in back and beyond of Uttar Pradesh, in Far East, Northeast, in southern parts of the country, the smaller towns, and what are people thinking and consuming there. That's the first part of it. The second part of it, and I think that's where we just win the debate completely, is when you look at what governance actually means, what it means for the people of this country. And I will just put out some statistics to compare where we are today in 2022 as compared to where we were in 2014. Sure.
She's trolling you already.
But the comparative data that I will give out is as of 2022. So it is a comparison between 2014 and 22. The size of the economy, we were 10th in 2014. We are number 5 today. Share of global GDP, 2.6%. We are 3.4% today. Share in global trade and services, 2.0% in 2014. We are at 2.2 now. Share in global FDI flows, 2.1% in 2014, 6.7% now. Auto production at number 7 in 2014. We are at number 3 in 2022. Steel production at 4 in 2014, number 2 in 2022. Mobile phone manufacturing, number 12. We are today at number 2. Number of unicorns, we had 4 in 2014. We had 116 today in 2022. India's weight in BRICS, 14% today. It is at 29%. India's weight in emerging market was 7% in 2014. It's 15% now. Climate change performance, 31 in 2014, number 10 today. Global Innovation Index, 83 in 2014. We are up to 46. WGI Governance Index, 103 in 2014, 49 now. Ease of doing business, 142 in 2000. No, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. You need to give me a couple of more minutes. We were importing locomotives, and today we are building trains. The inflation in India is lower than United States for the last 16 months. I'm not done yet. The focus on infrastructure has been massive. We have invested in the last 9 years what we've invested in the previous 67 years, whether it is investment in coal, whether it is investment in ports, railway electrification, highways, urban airports, metros, ports, small, big, everywhere. Okay. No, I'm not done yet. This is the narrative that we are talking about. We talk about PLI scheme. We've invested $2.4 billion, employment, direct employment generation of 40 lakh.
Fighting the election.
No, we are not. But I'm not done yet. That is the point that I'm trying to make. The narrative is about the work that this government has done and Prime Minister Modi has done. And I can go on for the next 30 minutes, which is the time for your schedule. But the thing is, this is how elections are won. So when we talk about social media, we talk about narratives, we talk about governance, we talk about achievements, we talk about development. And clearly, the Congress is no match when it comes to any of these aspects.
मेरे पास मोदी है, काम बोलता है. That's Amit Malviya's response. The Congress may have gained some strength on social media, but he very dismissively says the BJP will shape the narrative because they've got the Prime Minister and their work speaks for itself. Supriya, Shrinate, let's have your opening comments.
4.5 minutes of numbers that we heard. 4.5 minutes, with all due respect to my friend right here, of someone who's reading the data very deceptively. Because I will just point out something that he perhaps very grossly missed. You look at the average likes and retweets of Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi. You look at the average likes and retweets of the Congress party and the BJP. You look at the average likes and retweets of Supriya, Shrinate and Amit Malviya, we tower much ahead. So, I mean, as somebody who once again, you were listening in rapt attention, listen to me also in rapt attention. This isn't a TV show, right? You said this isn't a show, we are here in the conclave. You listen with such rapt attention, offer me the same courtesy. 4.5 minutes. So, my question is, are you looking at engagement? Are you looking at the likes? Are you looking at retweets? Or are you just going to look at that big number? Because that big number is misleading. I am putting out a retweet, and if 10 people are liking it and 4 are liking his, with many more followers, and by his I mean the BJP and Congress, what does it tell you? That there are more people engaging with us. Forget about social media statistics. Let's talk about the situation on the ground. What is the situation on the ground? And I would like to address the elephant in the room because that is often not addressed. And the elephant in the room is, why do you then have this urgent desire, this unsubstantiated need to weaponize fake news, to weaponize misinformation? And with all due respect to you, my friend, right here, you have the distinguished mark of being flagged off repeatedly for putting fake news from your own platform and your parties through social media and digital platforms. What is the need to do so? I would ask a question. I would ask a question when Bharat Jodo Yatra was happening. Every day, the BJP's official handle would put out some kind of fake news. We would bust it, fact checkers would check it. Mr. Malviya himself has the distinguished of being flagged by Twitter, the first person in this country flagged by Twitter for putting out misleading information.
So did Donald Trump, and he was the president of America. So that's a great company to be in.
This isn't a TV show. I hope you will offer me the courtesy.
You did interject me once. I have done my bit as well.
Thank you. Thanks. I was reminding you.
So I was with Donald Trump, the president of America. Where does the Congress party and Rahul?
So the reality is, one second, Rahul. So the reality is that he's admitting that he put out fake news, he weaponizes misinformation.
Well,
thank you, you did my job. I didn't have to do it.
It's to say,
thank you very much.
Say that Twitter, before their management got changed, were doing the bidding of a certain set of people with a different persuasion.
You start right here. I'm just asking you.
I mean, do you want to leave the conversation?
Okay, one second. Can we just do this one at a time? You spoke for about 4 minutes.
Yeah, she
allow her to speak. She interjected you once.
Pointed out the year. You've done your bit. Now please
interjected
quiet
her
because
once.
you will have another chance to speak. You don't want me to do this to you. This is a conclave.
I'm done with what I have to say. I've made my point. The message has gone loud and across.
Yeah, kuch chai pakode leke aao. You can just sit there.
I actually got the
popcorn lao, chai lao, pakode lao, kuch coffee pilao.
Mr. Malviya here heads the biggest fake news factory on this planet. He has the distinguished to do that. And he is doing that. And it's not just him. I hate to say this. I respect anybody in government. I respect institutions. But this is no more about a troll, about a surrogate, about shadow networks. This is about a troll government. I mean, why are ministers in this government reducing themselves to mere trolls? You look at what law minister is saying against. You have an issue with the Congress. We understand you're the main opposition. You will attack us. He has an issue with me. I understand. We do similar things. We are the opposition. We have diverse, divergent ideologies. We will be attacked. Mr. Modi wants to attack Rahul Gandhi. Go by all means. Now you want to attack activists. You want to attack Supreme Court judges. Supreme Court judges. Why? My only question is, if you have so much to tom home about, why reduce yourself to petty 2 rupee trolls? And I also want to say one thing, and you can then take the mic away from me. Mr. Nishikant Dubey is a BJP MP. He is known to spread fake news in your August company. He has this morning put out a tweet, and I want to put it before the audience right here and let them decide. As a woman, I feel very offended. She's not from my party. She's a TMC MP. An MLA from my party, Deepika Pandey. He puts out a tweet and says, हमने तो वैशाली की नगर वधुओं का भी सम्मान किया. वैशाली की नगर वधु is referring to a prostitute. Are you willing to tell your colleague to take down the tweet? If you are, let's have a discussion. If not, forget about it.
Okay, Amit Malviya, the charge against you is that you run the world's largest fake news factory, you called it.
Yes.
A giant army of trolls that you're constantly being called out for putting out fake news.
And I'm platforms are.
Well, I'll take the mic away otherwise. Okay. Now let
4.5 minutes, you didn't take
No,
his
but
mic
let
off.
him speak. You've both spoken. Now respond to the very serious charges that have been leveled by your opponent. Mr. Malviya.
You should have worn your bully-proof jacket. Rahul.
How do you know there's not a hidden bulletproof jacket here?
You will need it.
He didn't say bullets, he said bully.
Yeah, the bully is closer to you.
You should be scared on my left than he on the right.
I'm not scared of anybody, least of you. Let me come to the most substantive argument again, because
Of the fake news factory.
my
this is not
colleague from the Congress actually reduced herself to being a troll. All she did was speak about people. I'm not here to speak about people. I'm here to speak about ideas. I'm here to speak about a more progressive regime that we want to see. I'm here to talk about a more progressive conversation environment. He said this, she said this, usne ye tweet kiya, aap ye karoge, ye troll, wo troll. The fact is, and I want to do some fact checks here. Rahul Gandhi is never mentioned by the Prime Minister, something that she alluded to. I want to get her out of this delusion. The Prime Minister has never mentioned Rahul Gandhi, ever. As far as you're concerned, I don't remember I ever responded to any tweet of yours while you keep quote tweeting me and responding to my tweets, but I'll let it be. It's your prerogative. You're the challenger in this particular case, so you have to be sniping at us all the time. You're free to do it. But that's not really either my style of doing things or my party's. So I will move on from here, Rahul. You spoke about the presence of social media and what it has really done to the discourse. I spoke about democratization of discourse. And I think that's a very, very powerful idea. And most people do not quite understand the impact that it has made. Before 2014, it was widely believed that few editors sitting here in Delhi decided what the discourse on a particular issue should be. There were contentious issues on which the narrative was decided by the establishment, and the media, which was willing to play ball with the establishment, took that idea further. With the advent of social media, a lot of that has changed and changed significantly. Because today people have an opinion. For example, she lamented about some of the observations that the law minister made. Is it her argument that the law minister should not have an opinion on how India's judiciary should be like? Or should a lawyer or a legal professional not have an opinion on the judicial system of the country? Today, social media allows that to be done, and no voice is dependent on a mainstream media to publish them, because they can either put it on their blog or there are several proliferating digital platforms, and they can cover them.
Her argument is that whatever her message is at this moment is getting greater response. Average likes, average retweets, engagement, that they are doing much better than in the past. In fact, they're beating you on many metrics.
Well, if that was indeed the case, they would not have folded up in the recently concluded elections in Northeast. The best that they won in a state was about 5 seats. That's all that they got. So I don't know where is it resonating, with who is it
That's
resonating.
a very good counter.
No,
Supriya,
that's
Shrinate, आप social media पे जीतो, Amit Malviya and the BJP will win elections.
No. The point that I'm making is social media पे भी नहीं जीत रहे हैं. ये सिर्फ अपने दिमाग का ख्याली पुलाव है जहां जीत रहे हैं. Today, the BJP's strength comes from the huge volunteer army and people who have an opinion, who we engage with. They are our strength. They take the idea forward. They take the ideological arguments further. In the Congress's scheme of things, they have a battery of official accounts and a few leaders who are active. That doesn't make social media. For me, no, let me finish. For me,
So
the person in Kishanganj,
280 characters.
in Katihar, in Erode, in Far East, Far Northeast, is important.
Even if you claim to be getting more likes and retweets, it doesn't matter very much because his party is winning all the elections.
I'm not going there. I'm going to first address the
You
elephant
can't
in the
go
room,
there
and I
because
said
you're
to you.
not winning there. So you want to avoid that conversation.
Mr. Malviya, let us speak.
Some of you can clap, but just wait for my turn.
Maybe she wants to abandon the conversation.
So,
We
you
should
know,
let her
I
do
have a-
It
I
must
have
be
about
embarrassing
24
for her to be here.
Let us speak.
Don't troll me here because you know what I'll do to you.
I
next.
don't need to.
I have 24 papers right here in front of me. I don't want to get personal. I will just quote 2 or 3 papers out of
You
them.
can't go beyond that.
I will
You've
tell
been
you
doing
why.
it.
Malviya, let us
You
speak.
started with that. That was your first argument. That
Sir,
will be
let
your
us
last
speak.
argument, because you cannot compete.
You
with the
just made such a
BJP
long,
or me in this
comprehensive argument.
conversation
Allow
on
the lady an
ideas.
opportunity to
That
respond.
is why you want to go down that path. I said this. मैं 24 पेज लेके आई हूँ. तुम्हें flag off कर दिया. अरे भैया, I've been around for 9 years. If you play a test match, you'll have a few white balls. आप तो अभी आई हैं. आपकी पार्टी में 3 लोग बदल चुके हैं.
Okay, now let us speak.
24 pages right here. This gentleman sitting on my left called out for fake news all the time. And there's a reason why I want to talk about fake news and weaponizing misinformation. Last week, about 7 days back, they almost got Tamil Nadu and Bihar at blows. You know why? Because Manish Kashyap, a fake YouTuber, made a fake video which was being propagated by the entire BJP IT cell, including their leaders, and they almost came to blows. Don't speak in between
If
now.
nothing was
Mr.
happening in
Malviya,
Tamil Nadu,
Mr.
why did
Malviya.
the chief minister issue
Rahul,
statements in
I'm sorry,
Hindi?
you have to play the anchor here, right? I'm a little pissed off with you right now. This
Why
is
you're
not
not able to bully?
on. This is not on. I mean, let's be
मैंने क्या गलत किया? मैं तो ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. रुको तो सही.
बीच में बोलो तो सही.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, आप बोलने भी तो दो.
हाँ, बोलो. So first,
क्या बोल रहा है?
that
आप
fake
बोल रहे हैं,
news
Mr.
video,
Malviya, let us speak.
with
No,
the
but
fake
give
news
her a
video,
chance.
I
they
mean,
were putting
can we-
out misinformation that Biharis were being subjected to harassment, which was wrong. It was a video shot in Bihar by actors through a production house, and that video was being circulated by them. I'm just giving you examples. Bharat Jodo Yatra. We were in Madhya Pradesh, Mahakaleshwar. Rahul Gandhi ji does an aarti. I'm just telling you the kind of fake news propaganda that comes from no less than the IT cell head, which was shared by, of course, many people. Rahul Gandhi ji did an aarti. An aarti is done in a clockwise direction. Everybody and their mothers who do aarti know that. Mr. Malviya tweets, Rahul Gandhi doesn't know how
But
to
it
do the
speaks
aarti.
volumes
Because
about
I
Rahul Gandhi's
think-
credibility
Because I think the
as
problem
somebody
is
who hops
that
temples
Mr.
for
Malviya
convenience.
missed the physics class in school. In physics in class 7th, I was taught lateral inversion, but I knew that would be lost on him. So what I did instead was I put out an aarti of Modi ji, because on camera वो दोनों उल्टी दिखती है. जब वो देखा तो बेचारे चुप हो गए. फिर इन्होंने क्या बोला आगे सुनिए. फिर इन्होंने बोला there were multiple things that he lied about. One of the things that they lied about was Jitendra Singh, who was India's former Minister of State for Home Affairs, was tying Rahul Gandhi ji's shoes. Now that was fact-checked. Twitter flagged it as fake news, misleading information. Why does he have to do this?
Why do you
What
have
is
to
this
do this?
urgent need to put out fake news all the
Why
time?
do you put out
Why
fake
did
news?
Smriti Irani, for instance, I'm asking you, why did Smriti Irani, for instance, have to go to Tamil Nadu and say Rahul Gandhi never visited the Vivekanand statue? He did. He even did a parikrama around it. What is this
Okay, now let him
complete
respond.
desire to... Why?
Let
ऐसे
you-
प्यार से मुझे भी बोला करो, let him speak. नहीं, अभी रुकिए आप. What is this desire to lie? What is this desire to lie? What is this desire to mislead? What is this desire to spread fake news? If you have a narrative, peddle that. Your narrative is fake news.
Okay,
and
respond
the
to the
world
charge.
recognizes that,
Okay.
including the applause that I'm getting.
Well, left to the Congress party,
And maybe I should
No,
now
no,
start
no, no,
interjecting.
no,
क्यों
no,
ऐसे हमको भी बोलना चाहिए
no,
था?
let him
नहीं,
speak.
नहीं,
No,
ऐसे
no,
तो नहीं
come
किया
on,
आपने,
don't-
क्यों नहीं किया? I'm just saying.
Let him speak now.
I'm
left
just
to the
paying back
Congress.
No,
his
no,
own
please,
time.
let him speak.
Why
Give him,
he's did the same thing to me?
let him speak.
no, I mean, you can take 5 minutes and
I
agree.
don't-
No,
that doesn't
one
work.
second, one second. Let him speak.
I'll be the adult in the room. It's okay. Let him speak. Go ahead.
Well, left to the Congress party, they come out.
Will you get Nishikant Dubey to
No,
denounce?
one second,
Hey.
Supriya, this is not right.
Will he get
No, one
Nishikant
second.
Dubey
You've
to
spoken,
denounce?
you've leveled so many charges. Now allow him the courtesy of
He
responding,
was
please.
speaking continuously while I was talking.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
He wasn't? Was he or was he not?
No, no,
Put
no,
up
no.
your
This
hand.
is just
What are you
playing to the
talking about?
gallery. No, you're just playing to the gallery. Allow him to speak.
You just said you want to be adult in the room and you suddenly change your mind.
I've always been
Well-
curious. Where do you get the accent from?
Let me finish.
Just curious to ask.
Let me finish. The fact is, left to the Congress party, they would disown their own leader's speech. Rahul Gandhi goes to London and he addresses this journalist conference and he seeks foreign intervention, Europe and America. The lady sitting here who just claimed to be an adult goes out and does a press conference, misquotes another speech of Rahul Gandhi to say that Rahul Gandhi never asked for foreign intervention. If the Congress spokespeople are going to be babysitting Rahul Gandhi, they can't blame us for pointing out the obvious. You have a bunch of sycophants in your party. So sycophancy is something associated with your party. So if something gets called out, why should you take offense to it? Number one. Number two, if the Congress party cannot make up its mind whether Rahul Gandhi is unfortunately an MP or unfortunately an MP for you as he was further tutored, and it goes on social media, they can't blame the BJP. You have a leader who can't string a single sentence on his own. You have a leader who can't make up his mind कि सवाल के जवाब होने चाहिए या जवाब के सवाल होने चाहिए. अब ये सोशल मीडिया में तो जाएगा ही ना. He can't pronounce Vishweshwaraya. We are just facing Karnataka election. I mean, if that is the caliber of your leader and that is the man that you're defending, we are well within our right to highlight all that he does. And if that
Okay,
goes on
let her
social
respond
media,
now.
you can be upset for it for all I care. Look, you are invested in Rahul Gandhi, I understand. But we are doing the job of taking him to the world. You should thank us for it.
That
Because
he's
the
just
reality is,
he just gives a lot of fodder by constantly making mistakes and tying himself up in knots, and therefore Mr. Malviya gets ammunition to use against you.
I mean, we listen to speech far more than probably the Congress does.
I will just point out 3 instances and let the audience decide for themselves. We are a country of 1.4 billion, 140 crore ka desh hai, 140 crore people. The Prime Minister finds 600 crore voters here. And no less than World Economic Forum Davos, he told the audience, there are 600 crore voters in this country through a prepared speech. He really brought us global glory. The entire right wing, including large sections of the media, were quoting the deputy leader of the Nobel Committee. Mr. Modi is the front runner. The Nobel Committee deputy leader had to put out a statement saying this is fake news. This is a fake tweet. Do not give it energy and oxygen because I have said nothing remotely which matches that. Such global glory. Vivekanand, Guru Nanak और कबीर जो अलग-अलग सदियों में पैदा हुए थे, वो एक साथ बैठकर बात करते थे. India's Prime Minister says this. So I'm just asking you questions. This is India's Prime Minister, tutored, he has prepared text, he has assistants, he has all of that. I will, and because this speech has been talked about, and because we're not addressing Adani yet, which I will next, Mr. Rahul Gandhi said this, and he said this at the IJA that he refers to. How can anybody find fault? I am quoting him verbatim. Indian democracy is a public good. In Hindi, भारत का लोकतंत्र विश्व के लिए सौगात है. Indian democracy is a public good. 140 crore people live in this democracy. The state of our democracy is going to decide the state of democracies on this planet. This is putting Indian democracy at the center stage.
So
1 second. No, Rahul, I'm not done. Please hold on.
Rahul,
No, Rahul.
would you play that?
3 minutes left.
I'm asking you, and then he was asked a question
Would you play that
exactly
clip,
on
Rahul?
That you're
intervention.
adding
benefit
words.
of your
You are
audience.
adding to
No,
Rahul
1 second.
Gandhi's mouth
1
things.
second.
We've got 3 minutes left.
I mean, we don't have to add anything to Rahul Gandhi.
We now
I mean,
run
for
out.
God's sake, he's
This is
Congress's
our problem.
gift to the
This is our
world.
internal problem. This is an Indian problem, and India will find a solution to this.
Mr. Malviya,
Do you
you're
not
adding
understand
words.
that?
If you-
Do you not understand
if you-
English?
if you-
the reality is
if
you
you
want to run away from Adani.
underestimate-
You don't want to
if you
discuss Adani in
underestimate-
parliament, and so you mute parliament. Did you do a show yesterday of how the Lok Sabha was muted for 16 minutes? Can you imagine? It is not just mics that are being turned off. Lok Sabha that was being telecasted through the Sunset TV was muted because they wanted to drown the audio where people started saying
Okay,
Rahul Gandhi.
we've got
ko
2 minutes
bolne do.
left. How
Why
could
do
I have
you
done a
to do
show
that?
yesterday?
I'm
How could I
asking
have done a show yesterday? I was here at the Conclave the
do
whole
a show
day.
tomorrow. Do a show day
Of course,
after,
we've
and
done
call
many
me for
shows.
that show, and I will show you
Okay,
evidence.
let him
16
respond.
minutes. India's
That
parliament
you are running
proceedings
away from
are
the question
muted.
of Adani.
Why are you going
Well,
away?
let Mr.
Because
Malviya
you
respond.
cannot
Okay,
spell
Supriya,
A
you've
of
spoken.
Adani. That's as simple as that. Adani को बचाना है, सारे मंत्रिमंडल का यही
simple-
बहाना है, और कुछ नहीं है.
If you doubt the collective intelligence of the audience in this room and pretend that Rahul Gandhi did not seek foreign intervention in India's internal affairs,
Our problem,
hypocrisy-
internal
Let him
problem,
speak now.
Indian problem.
this
We will find a
hypocrisy
solution.
Supriya,
is
I will not
what
take
is
this fake news
sinking
lying
the
down. I will
Congress
not.
party.
It's treacherous.
You've
It's treacherous
This
on their part.
hypocrisy
I
is
will
Allow
what
him to
is
complete.
sinking the
I
Congress
will not
party.
take this lying down. I'm being honest with
Secondly,
you. I will not let him go away.
the
with this
only
fake news.
time
I
the
will.
parliament cameras and telecasts were switched off and the Congress surreptitiously passed the Andhra Pradesh
Lok Sabha
bifurcation
TV
bill.
was muted for 16 minutes.
That
Can you
was when
answer
the
this audience
UPA
why?
was in
Can
power.
you answer this audience why?
This
Why was
is
Lok
the
Sabha muted?
legacy
Because
of
you
the
don't put
Congress
in for
party.
JPC? Because
So
you
if
want to
you
defend
cannot
Adani?
defend
You want to
Rahul
do that,
Gandhi,
but don't put Indian
and if you
democracy at
cannot
hostage.
stop him from making this faux pas, which
You
is a
are putting
fodder on
Indian
social
democracy
media,
at hostage.
then
You have
clearly
put
you
Mr.
can't blame
Modi's
the
friend
BJP
to
for
be
it.
defended by your entire
Rahul
government,
Gandhi is
and India's
Congress's
parliament
problem.
cannot
He's
function
not India's
because Mr.
problem.
Adani has to be defended. It is as simple as that. You have put Indian democracy at hostage because you want to defend Adani.
We
That
will
is the
see
sum and
that in
substance of your attack
2024.
against Rahul Gandhi.
You
That's your sum and
barked up the
substance of
Rafale
muting Lok Sabha
tree.
TV.
You
That's your
lost
sum and
completely in
substance. 200
2019.
elected MPs
You will
are
be
marching out
routed in
parliament,
2024, and
2,000
nothing will be
policemen.
able to save
That's
you.
your reality. That's
Keep
your
Rahul
reality.
Gandhi
That's
for
your
another
reality.
day.
You know, in 2014 and 2019, the BJP had a big head start over the Congress. The Congress, as you've seen over the past 30 minutes, is trying to play catch up and try and level the playing field.
You think I was playing catch up?
Of course.
I dominated earlier.
completely.
You were screeching. That's not dominating.
No, one
That's
second.
screeching.
Supriya thinks she won. Amit Malviya would naturally think he won. Can we have a round of applause for both? I'm not going to ask who you think won, because both of them were gracious enough to come and join us at the conclave. You saw a fierce contestation. And I think some of that will play out in the build-up to the next general elections. Both of you have a very onerous task ahead of you, leading your social media armies. And we look forward to a very exciting contest, the kind that we saw over the past 30 minutes.
I lead a social media team. He leads a fake news factory. That's the difference.
Look, the eventual proof of the pudding is in eating. We are going to win this
24
election.
fake
We're
news
going to win
items
the
that I'm
coming
carrying for
elections.
you.
You can
I
come,
lead a very
scream,
good social
screech,
media team
call
that
me
believes
names,
in the
reduce
idea of
yourself
India.
to a troll.
He
I have
leads
no
the world's
problem with
biggest
it.
fake news factory.
The only
That is
thing
the
you
sum
did
and
this
substance of
entire
that.
evening.
Okay, ladies and
Fake news
gentlemen,
troll.
for the fireworks, can we have a round of applause, please? We had a lot of very deep conversations with the Chief Justice and various other people through the morning. And now we've seen the kind of contest that we'll see on social media. Mr. Amit, Malviya, Supriya, Shrinate, for joining us at the conclave. Thank you very much. Thank you. Just stay one second. I think they have
both of you to stay on stage as I quickly call upon Anuj Kohli, General Manager Hitachi, to come and give a small token of our appreciation to both the leaders. And don't tell tell us we didn't warn you. I did so right at the beginning of the session. But do stay on, and we'll quickly move it to our next session. Ladies and gentlemen, do raise a round of applause for Ms. Shrinate and Mr. Malviya. You're going to see a lot of the both of them in the next year to come as we run up to 2024.
One second. Can I do a selfie, please? This I will never get, because on social media, they're like always opposed to each other. Just one second, please. This is quite unique. They would never.
This is epic, actually.
It is. It is.
I'm also going to get one.
If it weren't for the India Today conclave, we'd never have both of them together. So one second, please. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is very special. Thank you. Your boxing gloves can now be taken off. Bulletproof jackets can come off as well. Supriya, Amit, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.